of Afghanistan. He is described as, quote, paranoid and extremely weak. Kim Jong-il's labeled a, quote, flabby old chap. Iran's president is, quote, like Hitler. And that's just a sample. And with more on the shocking details coming out of this document dump, we're joined by former speechwriter to President George W. Bush, author of the book Courting Disaster. Mark Thiessen is back with us. Mark, welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Good to be with you.
Thanks. All right. You wrote a column about this. You have some very strong comments, and you actually conclude at the end of this column that because of their failure to act, the responsibility for the damage done by these recent disclosures now rests with the Obama administration. Explain.
Well, absolutely. Listen, the first disclosures came out 3 months ago in August, and the Obama administration, they put out word that the Justice Department was looking at charges against Julian Assange. The Pentagon put out a statement saying that they would, if he didn't cease and desist, they were going to make him do the right thing, and nothing happened. Months have passed. We've seen the first time we were caught by surprise, but he's been saying for months that he's going to release this information, and they did absolutely nothing. No international arrest warrant. The vaunted diplomatic skills of Obama have been absolutely useless in getting Sweden or Iceland or any of these countries where he operates to arrest him or bring charges against him. And they come and basically a guy who sits around sleeping on other people's couches, changing his hair color in order to avoid our surveillance, is bringing American diplomacy, this great country, to its heels. It's just an incredible sign of weakness.
Look, 4 months ago, as you point out in your column, 75,000 documents, stolen documents, among other things, reveal the identity of 100 Afghans who were working with the United States, revealing their identities, helping us and cooperating with us in our battle against the Taliban. These are real lives that are now in jeopardy and in danger. That was step one. Then 390,000 other documents were released, many of them classified documents. And now we have this. Why? Why didn't they go after this guy? Why didn't they arrest him? Why didn't they stop this from being published when we had so much time to do it?
It's a mystery to me. I mean, they talk tough. The worst thing you can do in diplomacy is talk tough and then do nothing. I mean, they came out and said, the Pentagon literally put out a statement that if he didn't stop, we were going to make him do the right thing. Well, now we've done nothing whatsoever to stop this guy. There are plenty of tools in our disposal. The first tool is to use international diplomacy to try and you can indict him. You can do it secretly so that he doesn't know it's a sealed indictment and work with other countries to arrest him and bring him to justice. You can work with them to shut down his servers and stop him from disseminating this information, which harms them as much as it does us. But failing that, we can act unilaterally. Yeah. We can go and get him without another country's permission. We did it with General Noriega. There's authority in the Office of Legal Counsel that we can go and take somebody anywhere in the world. And we have U.S. Cybercom. We have the capability to shut down this guy's web servers and stop him from disseminating this information, and we failed to do it.
You actually pointed out in the piece, and this really struck me, is this past week the federal government took decisive action to shut down 70 websites that were literally websites disseminated pirated music and movies. And one other thing, the New York Times, for example, they wouldn't publish the memos in the ClimateGate scandal because they were, quote, stolen, and there was invasion of privacy. But yet the New York Times decides in this case that they would publish this information, which clearly compromises national security and puts people's lives in jeopardy. So what are we to make of that? If the government can do all this, why wouldn't they do it here?
No, it's exactly right. You know, Eric Holder's been on the news today with his press conference, with his comments about WikiLeaks. You know what that press conference was for? It was a previously scheduled press conference to pat himself on the back for shutting down 70 websites that were selling pirated movies and pirated music. So if you put out pirated music and pirated movies, you're going to have the full force of the U.S. law against you. But if you disseminate pirated, classified national security information, you're free to do it. You can do whatever you want. It's an astounding message of weakness to the world that we cannot stop this guy who sits in his underwear blogging and releasing this stuff from doing it.
Let me ask you the same question I was asking Dick Morris. What do you make of the Saudi king that wants to literally cut off the head of the snake, meaning pressuring the U.S. to attack Iran to end their nuclear weapons program? On the one hand, on the other hand, they are funding al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups.
Well, there are a lot of people in Saudi Arabia who are funding al-Qaeda and terrorist groups. What I found fascinating is that Obama came in telling us that he was going to open a dialogue with Iran, and we've seen in these cables how that's worked out. The Iranians are getting missiles that they can reach European capitals, Western European capitals, and it turns out that the Arab world doesn't want us to talk to Iran; they want us to bomb Iran.
Pretty amazing. All right, Mark, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. And there is plenty more Hannity straight ahead.